I am gonna do a comic book review now of a comic book. And the comic book that I'm gonna do a comic book review of is The Champions. Now, you are all probably thinking, who the fuck are the Champions? And the reason that you have not heard of the Champions is because they are fucking shite. You see, what the thing is, in 1975, which was the same year as 9/11, Stanley Lee tried to corner the market. He tried to win the market share of the comic book industry by flooding the shelves with as much shit as was physically possible. He did about 12 new titles and they were all cancelled very, very fast. The Champions was the most successful of them lot. It lasted about a year, but it was rubbish. Because what it was a superhero team, but all the characters, they were just characters that had been written out of other books. So Stanley Lee put them on the Champions to try and maintain the copyright on all of them. So you had Hercules Man, he had been written out of the Avengers. So put him on the Champions. Then you had Wingman, he had been written out of the Excellent Men. So put him on the Champions. Then you had Scarlett Johansson. She had been written out of the Daredevil book. So put her on the Champions. Then there was this other book that Stanley Lee did in 1975 that was cancelled after 4 issues. It was called The Black Goliath. His book was cancelled. So what did they do with the Black Goliath? They put him on the Champions. But I picked this one because I saw the cover and I saw Hercules Man fighting Santa and I thought that it would be dead fun, but it's not. We start off and we have got the Black Goliath. He is fighting the Stilt-Man. Now the Stilt-Man is one of my favourite supervillains of all time because he isn't like the other supervillains who have big powers. His big power is that he has stilts, so no one can fight him because he will go dead tall. And there you have, back on this page, you have all of the Champions, and this is how good that Stilt-Man is. He only has stilts, but it takes the whole team to fight a man whose only power is he has stilts. You have a few of them who weren't on the cover. You have Ghost Driver there. His comic was selling poorly, so put him on the Champions. Then you have Snowman. He was written out the Excellent Men, so put him on the Champions. Then you have this woman here. She is called Dark Star. No one knows who that is, so put her on the Champions. So there you have one of the best superhero teams never invented, the Champions. And about half of the comic is just them fighting a man with stilts. And there you can see the ways that Stilt-Man is great because he uses his stilts to knock down the 2 most strongest people on the Champions, the Black Goliath and the Hercules Man. And then what happens is they don't even beat Stilt-Man. Stilt-Man just gets bored and walks off. And all the Champions, they decide to just go back to the base. But the Black Goliath, and this is the only time anyone in the comic has anything close to a personality, he goes, no, I'm going after Stilt-Man. It'll be just me and him in a fight, even if it's to the death. And then the Champions go back to the base, and this woman has brought a magic box. And in the magic box is Santa. And then we see why the Champions are so rubbish. Dark Star tries to fight Santa, but Santa blows her up with laser beams. Then the Snowman tries to freeze Santa Claus, but Santa is used to the cold, so it's no good. Then Scarlett Johansson, whose only power is that she has guns and can fight, she shoots at Santa Claus, but he shoots her with a laser. And there, in the space of 2 pages, we have already lost 50% of the Champions in a fight. And then we have Ghost Driver, who is a demon from hell. You might think he might stand a chance against Santa, but no, Santa blows him away with his breath. And then we cut back and forth to Black Goliath fighting the Stilt-Man. And here we have got the big fight on the cover, Hercules Man versus Santa, where this is all that's actually in the comic. Hercules Man picks up a thing to hit him with, and then Santa melts it with his eye lasers. And that is the whole fight that the cover promised. And then we have got one last member of the champions to fight him. The Wingman punches him in the face, and then Santa grabs him. And there, all of the champions have been defeated by Santa easily. All of them took 2 panels to be defeated. And then what happens is, you might be thinking, surely, like, a story has got to start here. But no, we're at the end. What happens is, Santa sends them away to another dimension, probably the North Pole. And then, when they get there, they're greeted by this person here, who is called Camo Fawn. And this would have a lot of dramatic effect if you, by chance, had happened to read the only other appearance of them in 233. And that is the end of it. This comic is silly. There is no reason that the champions should be a superhero team. It don't make any sense, because Hercules Man is meant to be as strong as Thor, but Scarlett Johansson has no powers. So who are they meant to fight? Because any bad guy that Scarlett Johansson can beat, then Hercules Man can beat dead easy. And then anyone that is a challenge for Hercules Man would just bulldoze over Scarlett Johansson. So the champions does not work at all as a superhero team. But you would think that Marvel would learn from their failed experiment in the 70s to not flood the market with dreck. But they didn't. They still do that to this day. That is why if you walk into your local comic book shop, assuming that it hasn't closed down, you can buy such diverse titles as Weapon H and Slapstick and an all-new version of The Champions, except now with a bunch of minority and diverse characters, because the problem with this book was there wasn't a Muslim in it. I rate this comic 7 thumbs up.